Good morning, YouTube, and good whatever it is. If you're watching this as a rerun later on down the road, good to have you this morning. I'm Scott Bachmeyer, and if you want to skip ahead to the radio program, it starts in approximately 18 minutes. So you can skip ahead if you'd like to do that. If not, that is fine. You can stay here, and if you're watching on the live side of things, you have to. You got to deal with it. So there you go. There is the sheet of paper that I'm looking for here. It's around here somewhere. I know that. Morning, Dave. Morning, Jesse. Good morning, KGFX. Where the heck did I put it? No, it's here somewhere. What the heck did I do with it? There it is. I knew I had it here somewhere. All right, well, let's see here. Hopefully, you're all ready to go this morning. Hopefully, my guest is. See how that turns out. Morning, Karen from KOLY. Thanks for carrying us. Appreciate it. Everybody tuning in here this morning, thank you. Hopefully all is well in your side of the world here. I'm going to do the first attempt at calling Jake. Hopefully it goes well. Whoops. There's his phone number at. There it is. See how this turns out. Let's see here. Morning, Eric. Thanks for tuning in this morning down in the Pier area. Check.
Hello.
Morning, Mr. Wagner. How are you?
I'm here.
Long night last night, did you?
No, I was in bed early.
Oh, good. According to your text, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
No, I was actually home by then. I thought I'd fuck with you a little bit.
Okay, that's no problem. All right. Well, we're moving on live here on YouTube. So before we get going, so stations can get tuned in here. So welcome, YouTube, and stations. I'll do a countdown of time here in a little bit. So, but until then, Jake, I'm got to take my weekly dose of ivermectin.
There you go.
I get chewed out by people by taking ivermectin, and then I got ridiculed by people saying, "You do it weekly. You're only supposed to do that once a month." So I'm one of those rule breakers, you know. I don't conform to society very well.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Doing a study, I'm going to do it once a week on my radio show and see how long it takes for me to keel over, because according to the news, and all the unvaccinated people were supposed to be dead by now. And anybody who took ivermectin was supposed to be dead a long time ago. So if I got to be part of this study, by golly, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, we're all statistics.
Eric says, listening down in Pier, he says, there's nothing wrong with not conforming. Yeah. That was a nice deer that your wife got.
Yeah.
When does Montana's deer season, rifle season start? I went on your guys' fish wildlife page. It is a very confusing website to get around. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's even worse when you're trying to apply online. That's I won't even try to do it. It's a nightmare.
I can't even find start and stop dates on hunting season. It tells me in order to do this, I got to download an app on my phone in order to find it out. So
Yep.
Kelly Spring says it's already open, rifle season.
Yep.
It
Opened
is.
last Saturday.
I'll be darned. Eric, did you get an antelope? Yes, I just picked up a doe. Dried up doe antelope. Part of which is going to go in the mix of meat that I'm taking to Jake Wagner eventually. I'm almost out of the summer sausage that you made for me last year already.
Yeah. It must have been edible then.
It was very good. It still is. I still have a few left here. Station 759 on Mark 00, that is. Listening to Trent Luce last week, and he quoted that a study that 80% of COVID deaths could have been prevented by ivermectin. That would have been a simple treatment.
Yeah.
I don't know. So my father-in-law is probably not the healthiest guy you'd ever meet in the world. And he beat COVID, so I don't know. It's kind of hard to say who's susceptible to it and who's not, I guess.
I've had it several times.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you been vaccinated? I mean, come on, Jake.
No.
You know. The guy a couple of years ago at the county fair, guy just rode me the rights, man. 700 stations, 7 o'clock straight up, coming on Mark. Anyway, he gave me the riot about not getting vaccinated, how dumb I was. And he used some pretty choice words I won't use because we're getting close to stations getting on with us here. It was bad. I haven't been chewed out that bad in a long time. And since then, I've never had COVID. And he has had it 3 times.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Oh, what do they say? Red sunset at night, sailor's delight, red sunrise in the morn, be warned or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, look at the sunrise coming up there, Jake. I don't know if you can see it over there yet, but holy moly.
I'm not by a window, so
Okay.
I'll see it here when I get off the phone because I got to take my kids out hunting. So.
Okay. You have to?
Well, I don't have to, but I was told I was going to.
You're going to. You guys have a flyer? A flyer for the game feed?
Yeah, they're up all over. I believe they should be. Okay. They have flyers on about.
You got it on Facebook?
That I'm not sure of. Facebook is trying to ban us.
Shocker.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. Oh, cruelty to animals, and I can't remember what else it was, but yeah, we went to post some things on there.
I see it. Yeah. I'm on there right now. I see where they got banned. Holy cow! June 23rd is the last post with a poster. That was just a raffle. Okay. Oh, they won't even let you put the poster up. What the heck?
Right.
You guys are so mean. So mean to using animals for what the good Lord intended. You should get your food in the grocery store like everybody else.
Right.
Well,
yeah, they're appealing it, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to go to what's the whatever,
Truth Social or something.
Truth Social, yeah.
Jesse Flass says time to go to Twitter. Elon Musk just bought it and it's opened up now. But then you have to have a Twitter account in order to get this. Here's the thing about Facebook is there's so many people that already have an account.
Right.
So I mean, in order for some of the other people, then they're going to have to get it. And you know how that is changing from, we got to switch this and go to this. Which I have. I hardly ever go through Twitter, though. Not a whole lot.
I have it, but I don't really. I guess I don't know how to use it the best. So.
I just follow egg stories is what I follow on that the most. Successful farming is pretty heavily advertising on that stuff and put their stories on Twitter. But anymore, you got to use so many different platforms to get it across.
Right.
I think you should really start your own TikTok dance craze in the meat shop.
Oh yeah,
do.
that'd be great.
Have Wendy hold the phone, and you can do the whole, pouty face, arm pump thing going on, and get onto the trend.
Yeah.
I'll help you when I bring the meat over someday. I'll help you. We'll film one. It'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe for you.
All right, station's 4:00 or 4 minutes after 7. Couple minutes here, Jake, and then we get started on the radio side.
Okay.
You shut down regular beef slaughter now and just going wild game only for a couple months?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, there's a long list of beef waiting for me when I get go back to it.
I got permission. Start my deer farm, so all we got to do is get Turbovilles on board.
There you go. Call Kelly up. We'll get him on the air and get him to commit.
Tim Nays, my favorite Saturday morning shows, Red Steagall and Dakota Outdoors. Oh, thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. I like Red Steagall too. One of those shows if I ever get picked up on RFD radio, just sitting back talking to some of those old timers that used to work way back in the day and seeing like 100 years of change, It's crazy. All right, 45-second stations. Jake, I'm going to turn you down. I'm going to go quiet here until we start. Stand by. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer, reporting from a little piece of heaven in the Badlands I like to call the bunkhouse. Good to be with you here this morning, as this Saturday morning here, a lot of things going on in the tri-state area, whether North, South Dakota, or Montana, and we'll get to those right away here. So starting in South Dakota, coming up November 1st, around the corner here next week is the Black Hills deer season opener. Montana's already open. We'll be talking with Jake Wagner here shortly. West River deer season, November 12th. East River, November 19th. And that is all in the South Dakota side. Now, on North Dakota side, today is the opener of the 2022 Bighorn sheep season. Granted, there's only like 4 or 5 tags available and being given out, but good luck, because we all try to get into the big 3, and that's one of them. That moose I'm really trying to get on. Speaking of moose season, that ends on Sunday in North Dakota. So just make sure you're aware of those dates here. Well, let's get on to today's show. And before one more announcement here. The University of Mary Fins and Feathers ends today. They've been doing a month-long event, taking photos, sending them in. Tonight's schedule, 5 p.m. Central Time, that is. Raffles, food, and beverages. 6:30 is the raffle drawings. And it's all ending up here tonight. It's just a great time. If you want more information, you want to go and check it out. And even if you didn't hunt during it, that's fine here. But I was at the University of Mary last night with their Candlelight Fall Gala and helping with their fundraiser. And I got to sit with the athletic director, and he's showing me some of the pictures that are going to be shown tomorrow, and it's just phenomenal. So good luck, and a big thanks to University of Mary for having myself and the rest of the crew coming up and helping with that benefit auction last night. Jake Wagner from Hang & W Meats, Baker, Montana. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm a little bit on the tired side because I got home later than you did last night. So last night, University of Mary, right? Picture this. You know me pretty well, Jake. Tuxedo shirt, all tucked up, ready to go last night. That's right. And I was the only one wearing blue jeans in the entire room, I think.
I wouldn't doubt that.
But no, University of Mary did that. I helped with that fundraiser last night. They do this fundraiser for the athletic department called Fins and Feathers. And they used to do it for on a weekend, and it's so hard to find a weekend where the weather kind of cooperated. So they said, you know what, let's do it the whole month long. And all you had to do is just send photos of what you are doing, and whether you're hunting coyotes or geese or going after some walleye or northerns, and everybody's in. So that's tonight is where they're getting together and doing that. So big thanks to that. Then earlier this week, I was helping with the Bismarck Cancer Center, their fundraiser. All right. And who doesn't know somebody that's been affected by cancer, Jake? Really?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But this is unique. It's called Bucks for Bras. So borrowed Bucks Roadhouse. When's the last time you heard one of those still open, right?
Right.
Bismarck has it, and they do a nice job. And what they do is they go around and they support this for breast cancer awareness, and they've been trying to reach different goals. And there's 30 some models, and they come out with intricate kind of homemade bra type things. And we sold those, and we've the highest they ever brought. We got $60,000 just on the live auction for them. And
there you go.
And help. I think overall is just shy of $100,000 that night that they brought in for breast cancer awareness, right, for the Bismarck Cancer Center. So the reason I'm saying this and alluding up to this is auctions usually do pretty well. And coming up November 12th, Baker, Montana, the Fallon County Fairgrounds, which you're a big part of, and you've been asking me to help come over and auction this for a few years now. And the same thing, it's the way to go. And I always tell people the best way to make money for anything, sell guns or auction guns off. And that's what we're going here November 12th, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's exactly right. With a whole pile of them.
Yeah. Fallon County Wild Game Feed. You were on last year about this time here, and we're ready to do this on Saturday, November 12th. What time do the doors open down at the fairgrounds?
They open at 4. The food will run from 4 to 6.
All right. And is there charge to get in on this?
No, there's no charge. It's completely free to come in to go to the event. Of course, it costs to play, and then the food is a free will donation.
Okay. And speaking of the food, now you get in the door here, and a lot of people come in. This thing is packed. If there was a bigger event venue in Baker, I think we could. I mean, besides the rodeo arena, if that was covered in the indoor arena, we could probably fill that too. But the thing about this is that everybody comes to support this, and the food. Explain a little bit about the food. It's a free will offering, like you said, but a lot of different wild game. Some stuff that you probably haven't even heard of or tried before.
Well, I don't know. This year is kind of. I mean, I guess nothing extremely exotic, but I mean, we have a wide variety. We try to get as much different things as we can, and most of the cooking is done by myself and then two other ladies, excuse me. They do a couple signature dishes, and then I do the rest and try to make it worth eating, which I guess I must do a decent job of. So, but we have this year we got antelope, we got deer, elk, we have buffalo, moose, mountain lion, bighorn sheep, and black bear.
Now, those all. Mountain lion is one of those people don't realize you can eat a mountain lion. Some people don't anyway.
Very good eating. Very good. Very tasty.
Yeah.
Very tasty.
So would that beg to say that if a person found like a bobcat, could you possibly make that edible?
I would imagine so. I wouldn't think that it'd be much different than a mountain lion. I personally don't know, but I'm sure there's people that have ate them. I know there's recipes out there for coyotes, and I've seen people.
Absolutely not. I'll tell you this right now, Jake. I tried coyote. It is disgusting.
I would imagine so.
Okay. Now, some people say, "Oh, but you haven't had it done the right way." I don't care. I don't care how you make it. Now, when I was over in South Korea, I had dog, and it was okay.
Right.
But coyote is different. That's like trying to hunt a pheasant on my ranch compared to south of Scranton where they have grain. It just doesn't taste the same. Okay. It's just not right. Gene Cox says, have you got any javelina meat on there? Now that's pretty good, I heard.
I've never had javelina. I have had wild hogs. Yeah, that aspect. Yes, we've done, but javelinas themselves, no.
Yeah, and that's kind of a rare tag to get. I mean, like you go down to Texas and you can get $17. You can shoot as many hogs as you want, but you have to apply for a tag for javelina.
Right.
It's a little bit different.
And they're not very big either.
No, it's like a mourning dove. It might take a few to make a meal.
Right. Right. And that's the other thing is we have, I mean, the amount of food we go through is phenomenal. I think this year alone, I've got 225 pounds of sausage just for that night.
Did you know when you allow Jesse Flath to come over and he goes through the food line, I don't think there's enough free will donations to cover how much that he eats out of that.
Well, he is a growing boy.
He's a young strapping man trying to get his full-size body going on here. Well, anyway, Jake, we're up against our first break. Stand by. Jake Wagner from Hang and W Meats out of Baker, Montana. The Big Hunter, the Fallon County Wild Game Feed coming up on Saturday, November 12th. There's plenty of other wild game feeds going on, but I help at that one, and we'll come back, talk a little bit more about that, get into some butchering techniques, how to take care of your wild game correctly, how to keep them correctly. It's all on the way right here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors, back after these messages. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number one in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've grown along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Good to have you along across the Dakota Territory, all the way along the Missouri River, 6 states, 2 Canadian provinces, and great stations, KGFX in Pierre and Fort Pierre, KOLY in Mobridge, South Dakota, going up to Bismarck, Mandan, K-Fire 550, all the way up through Minot, KCJB 910, and hitting the western edge on KLTC in Dickinson. Also, streaming live on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Good to have you along this morning. Don't forget, Fins and Feathers, the University of Mary Marauders, having their final day of their Fins and Feathers. Remember, it's 6:30 tonight, and the raffle drawing start. 5 o'clock is the raffles food and kind of the social event at the Radisson Hotel Ballroom in Bismarck. Make sure you remember, go to the ballroom, not out at the campus. They're still recovering from last night's event as well. Jake Wagner from Hanging W Meats out of Baker, Montana joins me, and the big Fallon County Wild Game Feed coming up on Saturday, November 12th. Deep into the deer season already in Montana. How many deer have you processed, including, oh, Jake, your wife, your text message here, your wife got that nice deer too.
Yeah, right. It's been kind of slow for an opening week. It's probably the slowest one I ever had. It's not so much from the numbers of deer; it's from what I've seen, the number of hunters.
Really?
I think it was the weather. I'm not positive. There isn't near the hunters that we normally have, not even close. And I'm thinking they held off a week. I'm thinking this week because we're going to get slammed.
Yeah, well, I hope you do. I hope you. We need that. The hunting is such an important part of the management side, and a lot of folks don't understand that. And that's why, like in the North Dakota side, there were so many leftover doe tags. Nobody really wants a doe, right? Until it comes down to I didn't get drawn for my buck tag, so they go get a doe tag.
Right.
But it's needed for management, and we're having so many of these outside interest groups. They hate us, including Facebook, which you guys can't even put your poster up about your wild game feed on Facebook because they say that's cruelty to animals.
Right.
It's
they banned
cruel
it.
to eat an animal.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So
you're going to get on TikTok, I heard, and start doing competitive dances and
yeah, me and Jesse, yeah, we're gonna get the tutus out.
let's do it on November 12th. We'll videotape that all night long, man, right there. Remember, then the nice thing about a TikTok video, you only need 7 seconds to be an internet sensation, Jake. You could make thousands of dollars just by doing that.
Right.
So it's deer season coming up around North Dakota. Next Friday is North Dakota's opener. You know,
Right.
Black Hills opens up November 1st here, and I mean it seems like it all kind of opens up around the same area. Rut season. All right, and next Friday night I have the Medora, North Dakota wild game feed that I'm auctioning up that way. The following weekend is going to be in Baker with you guys. And
Right.
it's the wild game feed. I think Rame has their smoker. I mean, there's a lot of places that have these wild game feeds, and it's kind of just one of those things. Where did they start out here, Jake? I mean, I know yours had kind of a different way of starting out, but you see them all over the place. And is it just a way for some people to share wild game or just camaraderie? Where did this stuff start from?
I think it's a combination of things. I mean, I think it's, obviously wild game is the crucial part of it, but,
Yeah.
you know, my personal aspect of it is, I'm sure most of the listeners or people that we talk to have been to an NRA banquet or friends of the NRA or, the Whitetail, RMEF, they've been doing it for a long time, and they don't do wild game as their meal. They'll have steak or whatever. And, I kind of went to them and said, I can do better than this. This is kind of a ripoff, because, they give away a few guns and, it's tough to win. And I'm like, we can do better than this. And so that's kind of how I started this one. Us and the one in Belfield, I think, are about the two longest running ones in the nearby area. We've both been going a very long time, and I've seen other ones start up, and they kind of mimic what we do. I think it's a good thing.
I do too. Yeah, and it gives you the chance, if you're not a hunter, to come in and actually taste some different types of wild game that you may think, because there's that stigma. When I was growing up, my dad was like, there's no way I'm eating wild game. No way. And
Right.
people, and I think that's just because a lot of folks didn't, first off, take care of their animal after you shoot it. Let's go through that, Jake, because I'm kind of a stickler about this. I like to get it cooled down, or at least, just take care of it as fast as you can.
Right.
And explain what's the best procedure, especially if somebody's driving a long way and maybe they're staying at a hotel, whether it's North, South Dakota or Baker, Montana, and they get an antelope or they get a deer. What's the best way for them to field dress it and take care of it to the point where it's going to save the taste of that venison?
Well, obviously, you got to get the guts out of them as quickly as possible. One of the biggest things I think that, from a taste aspect, is not to gut shoot it. I mean, that especially in an antelope, that's, probably one of the worst things you can possibly do. I'll get the guts out of them, but immediately, get them back. Don't drive around the rest of the day hunting with them in the back of the pickup is the other thing. That drives me bonkers.
Yeah.
And I deal with a lot of non-residents, and there might be 8 of them or 10 of them in a group, and they'll call me and say, well, we've got a deer in it. And I tell them to get it to me right away. And they say, well, we'd like to keep hunting. I'm like, well, if you got another vehicle, whatever, get them to me as fast as you can kill them, especially on a weekend like we're going to have now where it's hot.
Yeah.
And as big a bodied as these bucks are this year, they're phenomenal for what kind of size they got, body size.
They're fat. They got a lot of fat in them, don't they?
Yes. And they'll sour immediately. In fact, I had one the other day we had to throw away.
No, man.
It was completely rotten already.
So very quickly, a text comes in here and says, ask Jake if antimicrobial game bags for the backcountry hunting are worth the extra penny over standard game bags.
I've never had any, I don't have an opinion on it because I've never been around them.
Okay.
Here we have the standard, your standard game bags. And yes, they come in handy. If you're in the backcountry or can't get in, obviously get the hide off of them and get them covered with a game bag is your best avenue.
Yeah.
And elk sour faster than anything. So, you've got to get a hide off an elk, immediately, because that hide is like an electric blanket. And
so when you say immediately after you shoot it, how long is immediately? What's the safe? Is it like an hour, 2 hours?
With a bull, with an hour, you'd probably better either opening them up or getting the hide off them within an hour.
Really?
More elk get thrown away than get ate.
Well, that's just not right. No. So, I mean, within an hour, which should be doable. It really should be if you have the right help and the right tools with you.
Right, unless you're back in the backcountry, but it's still the same. You follow the same principles.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the backcountry or you're driving around in your pickup or you're in your backyard, whatever. I got a bull in this week. He was sour, and he was, we threw his whole front end away.
Man. Just because of the hide being on a little bit too long.
Yep. If you can go in there and open them up, open them front legs up, and open their sockets on their off their hip joints, odds are they will not sour. They still might if they're a big bull, but that will go a very long ways for them not to sour.
Yeah, it's not just taking the hide off, but actually opening up the shoulder, like you said, the front shoulders, get around that shoulder blade and open that up and let that hang there and get some air in it.
Yep. Give that heat, that trapped heat, so I can get out. And cold is just as bad as hot. So if it's 20 below, you have the same issue because they'll freeze on the outside and it traps the heat in, and they'll sour even faster.
Sours from the inside out. What
Yep.
the heck? Well, interesting. Well, hey, stay with me here, Jake. We're going to come back, continue here. We're up the next break here. This portion of the program brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor in this time of the year, combines are still going out there. Maybe you want to get your air seeders ready for next year. Freedom Repair comes to you, helps you get fixed up back in the field. 18 plus years of experience. Lucas Kelly is his name. 701-440-1945. That's 440-1945. Freedom Repair. It's veteran owned and operated and worth your time to give them a call for if you have any breakdowns. Check it out here. Freedom Repair coming up back after these messages. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number one in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance.
Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've grown along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Saturday edition. Dakota Prairie Outdoors continues here across the fruited plains of the Dakota Territory. Good morning. Scott Bachmeyer with you here this morning. And I have a correction. Jesse Flatt says, Medora is not a hunter's feed. It's not a wild game feed. It is a hunter's feed. That is correct. I stand corrected. Jake Wagner, Hanging W Meats, is my guest here today. And Jesse said also, Jake, when I said on Saturday, November 12th, they're in the Fallon County Wild Game Feed, that you guys are going to do TikToks together. He says he's in. So what I will do is I will politely send you guys an easy dance. It's very simple. You don't even have to move your feet, that you guys need to practice. I'll video it. I'll edit it. And I'll make sure it's very tastefully done. Okay?
Yeah,
I will.
yeah,
I promise that.
yeah,
I promise that. And
yeah.
also, Mayor of Mobridge says all the wild game tastes like chicken anyways. Yeah, right. Evidently, he's hunting he leaving the hide on too long is what he's doing. Is what's going on here. So during the break, you and I were on the phone just chatting away, and you said that I was telling you about not seeing as many deer. I mean, the whitetail deer in my area got decimated with EHD. So, I mean, that's along the little Missouri River for the most part. I mean, just dead deer, like between us and Wine Races, there are so many dead deer. I mean, they got that pivot down there. They have corn down there this year. There's no deer down there, right? When there's usually 300-400 whitetail, there's nothing. And this year, there's elk down there. Okay. But my worry, I feel that since there are so many dead whitetail along the river, and the river flows north and comes through my place, and all of a sudden you see these mule deer going down and taking a drink. Did it affect the mule deer? Is it? I mean, I know the biologists say EHD doesn't affect mule deer, but I don't see nearly as many deer this year. And you said that some of the ones that you're seeing, there's some issues with them.
Well, yeah, there is. There's some. It can hit your muleys. They're more resistant to it. But the ones typically, and I don't know what it does to the does, I have no idea. But the bucks, it'll sterilize them. So they become stags, basically, which, as I told you, we got one last weekend, and I believe that was his case. I don't think he was born that way. I believe it was from, EHD. The other thing I found out this week, and I'd never seen it before, but I had a guy brought a buck in, and his horns were all busted up. And I'm like, wow, muleys are busting horns already. That's kind of odd. And I got to looking at it, and it was like it had a fungus that got into a fork. And then that fungus got into the main beams and basically hollowed them out. Kind of like looked like a termite had got after his horns on the inside. And so basically you got an eggshell outside and everything inside is gone. And the other side, one side was busted off completely, and the other one I could see like this fungus in there, and the horn had the same coloration to it as the other side. And so I called my taxidermist, and he said that's actually that buck had EHD and survived it, and that's what another thing that'll do to them if it doesn't sterilize them. That's what it does to their horns. And I'd never seen it before, but it was. It literally looked like horn rot is the best thing I can explain.
That's interesting. So is this something that if they had EHD and survived it with what's happening with their antlers, is this something that is going to happen every year for them, or can they eventually grow out of it?
I think they're stuck with it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And so if you see a deer with a muley and its horns are busted off and places, like they normally wouldn't, I would almost guess that's what it is. But that's the only one I've ever seen of those. Last year I had the most stags ever come in my life, and they said it's from EHD, which I tend to believe. I've had one this year. I've seen one other one. I shouldn't say seen, but seen pictures of another one that was shot.
Are you finding any of this in the elk population at all, or are they a little bit more resilient?
Elk, I believe, are more resilient. Antelope can get it as well.
Yeah, I heard about antelope. Yeah.
Antelope can get it, and it can, and I think once it gets that bad, then it's killing, it's killing everything. It's killing muleys. It's killing antelope. It probably would kill elk, I would guess, if it's that bad of a flare up.
It's interesting that, the EHD, we see this probably every 3 to 4 years when it, that little midge is all it takes, right? Just to get that
little gnat
bite, and you see this happening, and the thousands of deer are just decimated by this. It interests me that it's not studied a little bit more, and maybe something that a person could do to help out here. Jesse asks on YouTube, any effect with this in the meat when you're butchering some of these here?
No.
So don't worry about it. If it has EHD, you're still okay.
Yep.
Hey, text comes in. Can you use wild game to make tiger meat?
I wouldn't recommend it.
I love tiger meat, by the way. Are you going to have some of that at the wild game feed?
No, I'm not.
I'll tell you this right now. That bull that I was talking to you about helping butcher, he's better. He is better, but he's not happy. He's healthy. He's running around. It doesn't even look like he got injured. But
still got the same attitude as what you're saying.
He could make the wild game feed. So if anybody wants a archery beef hunt that will be challenging, I have one that I will sell you. Maybe we should auction that off at November 12th.
There you go.
It'll be good. And there'll be plenty of it. He's a big bull, but holy cow. Not the bull elk is what I'm saying to some people. It's an actual
right.
So coming up here, not only on the wild game feed November 12th, what other advice for the do-it-yourself DIY people that make their own sausage? One of the saddest things you told me was a buddy of mine got his elk and he brought it to you, and he had it. And I told my wife this last night, and she about jumped out of the pickup mad. Made it all into sausage.
Right.
No backlinen, no steaks, no roasts.
Well, they kept the back straps, and the tenderloins, but the rest of it, they had me sausage, which, and some people do that. I mean, it's just, that's what they like to eat, so that's what they do with it.
Yeah.
And I like elk, don't get me wrong, but I can't eat it. It makes my gout flare up instantly, so I have to stay away from it. And it's just, different strokes for different folks, but we do stuff like that all the time. It's no different than taking a beef out of a feedlot, Scott, and turning it into a hamburger. I've had people do that all the time.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, it's what they eat mostly, right?
Right.
Not a lot of people. I say some people probably don't sit down and take the time to prepare a steak or prepare, tenderloins. I get that. But it's such a good cut. Yeah, it's so good.
You know, and personally, I don't on my own wild animals. I don't eat the tenderloins on them. They go into the sausage pan.
Really interesting.
Yep, I don't like them. So, you know,
Well,
different strokes for different folks. I mean,
remember about me not, conforming to the regular? That's probably part of me. Maybe it's just me. I thought I was everybody. It's just me, evidently.
so are you bringing Andy with you when you come to the game feed?
I think he's coming. I think Jesse's coming. I think we're all going to be there. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I got to send a text message and double check everything. But
Make sure Andy's got his checkbook with.
Okay.
Me and Jesse will help him spend something.
I like that. So some of the things that let's talk about the guns first and foremost. We have some local hunts that we're going to be auctioning off here, but talk about some of the guns that you're going to be having because let's go to rare. What are some of the rare ones that you found this year?
I have a few. I can't remember them all. I can't even remember them all. But one I do have is it's a Mannlicher 270. Built before, it'd be in the 1950s. They've got a set trigger. They're just beautiful guns. Mm-hmm. And I found some at a gun show a couple months ago. They were actually Mannlicher Steyr, which would be newer. They were wanting $3,500 for them. And this one is older and was in better shape than those. Okay. We have a Japanese Nambu. It's an officer's pistol from World War II. I can tell you exactly where it was made, what month and what year. And it was a Japanese officer's pistol. We have a 30-40 Krag. That is a cavalry carbine, which are almost impossible to find. And if you do find one, they are worth a pile of money. So that which come out of North Dakota, which for the dates, it actually could have been one of Teddy Roosevelt's company's rifles.
Oh, be darned.
So we don't know that because the records, we don't know.
Mm-hmm. So it's not just, we're not looking at just $300-$400 guns that you're buying at Runnings or Shields or wherever.
Well, we have some of those.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you do, but you go beyond that.
We try to, yes. We try to find stuff. There's stuff there you're not going to find anywhere else. And I have some brand new guns that are rare. I got a Marlin and a 32 H&R mag, lever action. Those are almost impossible to find. This is the only one I've ever seen come up for sale. I got another one in a 218B. There's just some stuff there that there's going to be stuff you don't see anywhere else, nowhere else, nowhere.
Right. Well, we got people, when you said that we're talking about that 30-40 Krag,
Right.
First off, the question was, did Teddy Roosevelt use it? And you can just say yes, because, how are they going to prove it differently? Okay. But Eric out of Pierce says, how long is the 30-40 Krag serial number?
So I would have to go back. We researched that gun because it didn't match with a normal 30-40 Krag, which, they have, their forend, the wood goes all the way to the end of the barrel, just like your old Enfield.
Yep.
This one does not. And that's one of the things that you've got to, there's things you got to look for. And then there's also stamping on that will tell you that it's a cavalry carbine.
Okay.
So it's in the receiver and in the back sight there where your stamping is that's where you find out what it is.
Yeah. And I'm sure that depending on the serial number, a guy can research that and figure out a little bit closer what the date would be too.
And we researched the whole works, and I was sitting right there with one of the gun guys that he knows more about that kind of stuff than anybody I've ever met in my life. And he's a veteran, and that when we got the gun Bible out, and we finally found that, it was a cavalry carbine.
Excellent. So besides rifle firearms here, you also have some hunts and some pretty decent ones. Talk about those.
We have several hunts, and we have some trips also. I guess we have a safari in South Africa. It's quite the hunt. Once you get to Africa, you're taken care of. It's on you to get yourself there. But once you get there, everything is taken. Your food, your lodging, your drinks. There's $5,000 in trophy fees thrown in. It's for two people. So I mean, you could have a lot of fun, or if you want to spend even more money and upgrade to bigger animals, you can. We have 2 buffalo heifer hunts for one person, but 2 hunts. And that's in the Chalk Buttes south of Ekalaka on the Crazy Woman Buffalo Ranch. And then we have 4.
Is that politically correct to say Crazy Woman Buffalo Ranch?
That's the name of the place.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And then we have 4 elk hunts. We have 2 that are either cow or spike. One of those is going to be on the kids' table, and the other one's going to be on the ladies' table. And then we have a coal bull, which he doesn't have the genetics that they want to see, and he's not a little bull by any means. He's probably I would say 300 to 340 class bull. And then we have a herd bull, so
nice.
360 plus class bull. So, and those are our hunts that we have. So, and we've done some other, we did a whitetail hunt last year. A guy from town won it. It was in Minnesota. He did that hunt, and I believe that whitetail scored 217.
Well, I see the picture of it.
He's
phenomenal.
Just stupid big.
Yeah. I have the photo here. If you're watching on YouTube here, I will show you here on the screen here. It's absolutely a monster.
And those horns will be at the game feed. He's going to bring them in. We'll have them right there at the hunt table. Well, one of the other things I have on the hunt tables, I have a pair of whitetail sheds. I actually bought them at an auction, and I got them mounted on an antler plaque, and we're going to give those away. And that buck scores probably, and he hasn't been scored, but I would say he's probably somewhere between 230 and 250.
Yeah. That's phenomenal. It's like dream hunts, right? It's like dream stuff that you'd like to have.
I mean, you're elk hunters. I mean, how many people out there want to go kill a 360 class bull? I mean,
a lot of them. Yeah.
Right. And when you start getting to our ages, and then all of a sudden it starts meaning a little more, because we're kidding to the point where a lot of that stuff we can't do.
Don't be bringing me into your age group. Good grief.
You're not that much younger than I am. So
I know, but in my mind, right?
Right.
Hey, Gene says on that 3040 Craig, he says, you're close enough to Medora to just call it Teddy Roosevelt. So just do it. What else?
Well, that auction I bought it at wasn't very far from Medora, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So,
and you never know. I mean, some people don't keep track of it. I mean, especially back in the 30s, 40s, when they maybe got it handed to them or maybe given by this person or this person that was a neighbor to somebody, right?
Right.
Jesse asked, where are the 2 large elk hunts at?
Oh, they're on Eagle's. I can't remember what he calls his place. Do you?
I should. He's a neighbor of mine.
I should too, and I can't. I'm just drawing a blank. But it would be south of Rame.
Yeah, it's in the southwest corner of North Dakota. For anybody that's thinking about coming up here, it's local. So it's not like you got to travel to Colorado or Wyoming or someplace, and worry about spending a lot of money with outfitters. It's local. So that's a nice thing about that.
And guaranteed.
Well, and then we're going to start a fight about that now. You're older.
I know.
I'm like,
I know.
It's still people shooting and managing what they do. It's just
right.
It's good stuff. So,
right.
But yeah, I'll tell you this. It's a great time. It's a great hunter's feed. And I mean, you have, I don't know, what is it? 20 banquet tables full of kids stuff. And you have different things. You have a guaranteed. You have the flask auction and everything. Oh, hold on. Riley says, so do you have to draw a tag for those elk hunts? No, you don't.
Nope.
You just have to buy them at the sale. That's what you got to do.
Yep. And and there's going to be one on the hunt table, which is the big bull, and those are bucket raffles along with the buffalo and a trip to the NFR and the safari. They're all on a table on their own, and it's a bucket raffle. So if you want to throw all of the tickets into one bucket, you can, or split them up, whatever you want to do. The hunts are something we've been working on for a lot of years, and we've had a lot of different hunts. And sometimes the interest is huge, and sometimes it's not so huge, but they're gaining steam.
Yeah.
they're hard.
I think people are starting to realize that, just because you're going to somebody's ranch and hunting or something, it's still a hunt. And it's not like these are in a corral or someplace like that. I mean, you got to put some time involved into this too.
We had 3 elk hunts last year we gave away on a different elk ranch, and I'll tell you what, that is no cupcake hunt. And the people that did it thought they were, they're gonna, throw out a bucket of grain, and these elk are gonna come walking up, and it's one of them was pretty near dark before they ever even got a shot.
So the guy just texted. He said, "I missed a little bit here." He said, "How are the elk hunts? Are they auctioned or raffled?" And say that again. How are they done?
So the big bull is on a bucket raffle, and then the coal bull will also be on a different table, but it's also a bucket raffle. And then one of the cower spikes is on the kids' table, so adults are out, and the kids they play a game to get into to try to win it.
Yeah.
And then the other one is on the ladies' table, so which would also be a bucket raffle.
Perfect. So you can get on, at least if you're an adult male, you can get in on at least 2 of them. If you're a female, you can get on 3 of them. And if you're a kid, you can get on all 4 of them.
Right.
Well,
we try to gear it towards kids. I mean,
I know
what we do for, we have from 0 to 11-year-olds, and there's tons of prizes on there. And then we have the youth table, which is 12 to 17-year-olds. And that's strictly for kids that age. And we have a lot of prizes on there. We have guns, all kinds of things.
November 12th, Fallon County Wild Game Feed. Jake Wagner, thanks for coming on the program. Have a good day. Eat some meat, drink some milk. Thank you, stations, for tuning in today. All right, station's going to leave you guys, but still continuing on YouTube for those that want to get information. I'm sure they can go to the YouTube side here. Jake, anything else you want to add before you go hunting and have a little bit of fun today besides starting your morning out right, which is on my program?
The one thing I forgot to say when we were on the radio is this year people always ask me how many guns I'm going to have because we never know, and I have a problem with buying them. So this year we have 90. As of right now, we have 97 guns.
Well, you usually have around 100 every year.
Well, this year I was going to have my goal was 80 because it's so hard to get your hands on them, and now I've got 97. So
awesome.
Our most we've ever had is 113.
Yeah, they're hard to get. There's a few people that when you look at some of these guys that have collections and they're getting up in their 80s, they're going to either have a gun auction or start donating them somewhere.
Right.
And I think that would be kind of, if I hear some of those people through the auction side of things, I'll give you their information. So maybe they can donate like 5, 1 each year for the next 5 years. I mean, wouldn't that be nice?
Oh yeah. And that's actually, one of the things that how I get some of these guns are estate auctions.
Yeah. Jesse,
and just as well as I do. I mean, because we've seen each other at them. So.
Yeah. Jesse said I was hoping one of those 2 big elk hunts were a live auction item. That's where we can see that we can get his money too. We can get Jesse's money too.
But there's always a possibility that we might auction something off that could be similar to that. But you never know.
Ooh, we could do an illegal hunt. Let's auction
off.
Yeah, let's auction off an illegal elk hunt, and it's up to you to get in here and get it out. I'm not touching you. Oh shit!
It was Cedar Ranch. Cedar Ranch is
Cedar Ridge.
Cedar Ridge. Okay. Cedar Ridge.
Isn't that's Tuberville, isn't it?
No, isn't that Tuberville's, Wendy?
Yeah, that's Tuberville.
Yeah, that's Tuberville. Cedar Ridge is Tuberville.
Yeah, Eglin is. God darn it! It's on
I
the
can't
tip
remember.
of my tongue, man. When I
can't remember.
Yeah, me either.
But so I mean, it should be a really good time, and we have some other. We have some stuff built by people. We have a buddy bar that we had built this year, and we had a hope chest that we had built this year. And, we have some very nice things besides guns. I mean, very nice prizes.
That's a nice thing about it. It's a little bit for everybody. Even if you don't hunt, there's something there for you.
Right. You know, that set of lingerie that I got, the pink, the hot pink lingerie that somebody donated, I'm going to reserve that back for Jesse because I know he'll enjoy it.
What size is it?
We'll make it fit.
If nothing else, we can use it as a slingshot. Jesse says you're in. He's in on the TikTok thing, so I will. I'm going to send you guys videos. It's so simple. I'll do the editing, and we'll just have a little fun with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see, but I guarantee it. It'll be good.
I don't know if I want to be in any kind of video with Jesse.
Well, it's
Who knows what kind of channels that'll hit.
When I send it, you'll see where I'm kind of going with it, because there's a lot of fathers, daughters are trying to do this with their dads during harvest, and it can be done in many different ways. But yeah, we'll and plus I have to learn how to edit on TikTok. I got to learn how to do this stuff, man. It's the new wave, Jake. You know, I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm actually a TikTok, junkie. So.
Are you okay? So
Yeah.
you're probably seeing this when I send it to you. You'll be like, yeah, I can do that.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
All right, man. I am going to get my day rolling here. So you have yourself a good one.
Yeah, you too, Scott.
You bet. Catch you in a couple weeks.
All right, sounds good.
You bet. See ya. Bye.
See ya.
Oh, YouTube. You're still there. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I do appreciate it. If you have suggestions, you want me to talk about something in the following weeks or anything like that, feel free to send those suggestions to me. I got a couple that have been emailing to me, and just trying to dig up a little bit more information on that. So other than that, have yourself a good day, and be ready for the colder weather next week.